Okay, we are back. Tru Sons. We are at episode 4, the final episode of the season. Thank you so much as my man Spoon has coined all the Trus out there, the Tru Sons who have been viewing and checking in with us. We really appreciate you. It's been awesome, and we look forward to carrying this thing on as long as we possibly can.
Absolutely.
But I'm back, and once again, I'm Kevin, a.k.a. Rut. We have to my far left.
J-Mac, Jeremy Macklin.
And in the middle.
It's your boy Spoon Jones, Sean Weatherspoon. Bless.
Okay, on our last episode of Tru Sons, we left off talking about the highs of 2007 at Mizzou, which is one of the best seasons that school has ever seen. And to date, it's arguably one of, if not the best team, right? So we have high expectations, and we're going in 2008. Now we are the team that has the target on our back. It's not a secret how good these players are, what they all bring to the table. So now people are scheming to stop this. Walk me through your expectations that season, and even versus how it actually ultimately ended.
Man, I'll top it off first.
Yeah.
I just felt really, really confident about the team, about my upcoming season.
Mm-hmm.
And it seemed like the sky was the limit.
It
or
was.
even going past that. I mean, I think Lee Corso might have picked us versus USC to be in that BCS game.
Mm-hmm.
And we look at those rosters, you would think that was a pretty good pick. And,
Don't forget Sports Illustrated.
Like I said, once you hot, the people start coming. You know what I'm saying? They start coming. And I remember getting a call from Chad Moeller.
Yep.
He was saying, we got to shoot. We got to shoot.
That's crazy.
In the endo.
How I end up being a part of the shoot is like, wow. We had defense. We had a linebacker, lead on defense, quarterback.
And then
we also had a creative player.
We had the X factor, the creative player.
So what was that like, Mac, when they put us on the cover of
that was dope,
Sports Illustrated?
Man, that was cool.
Y'all was signing that. That was crazy.
Yeah, we're signing it, man. Still signing it to this day.
You could have made a lot of money in the hell for that.
But man, dog, it like that was the first. Like, granted, we had the kind of the stardom and throughout Columbia, and you go back home and you go back to Jasper, but like now the media, the national media is coming, so it's ESPN, FS, Fox Sports, CB,
every Saturday.
They just coming, right? And
bandwagons.
yeah.
So the Sports Illustrated thing was really cool, man. Me, Spoon, and Chase in the indoor.
Remember that bottle of sweat?
Yeah, bottle of sweat.
First time
so
I've seen it.
What?
Bottle of sweat.
It's water. Yeah.
You gotta look.
To make you like you're sweating?
Listen though, you remember the sequel? That was me chasing Willie Moe.
Yes.
It had moved like a little movie.
Yes.
Like a movie.
Yes.
Man, you talk about the bottle of sweat? They was all in my face, spread in my eyes
That
and
was
everything.
dripping on that one.
Man,
Was it labeled that?
It was labeled
It
the
was
sequel.
the sequel, bro.
We had the commercial.
No, I mean the bottle of sweat.
Oh, yeah, bro. Bottle of sweat. You remember Michael stuff on
Yes.
Space Jam?
Yeah.
That's what it made me think of. It's like, guys, it's just water.
Yeah.
And they hit you with
past
that.
the stuff.
Pass the
That's how
stuff.
it the sweat.
Me, Will Moe, and Chase Kaufman had the commercial with the, hey, we're back. Like,
It started getting
It
real
was
crazy
big time,
around
dog.
there.
It was
big
real
time,
big
man.
time, dog. It was big time, but I guess you could say we earned it.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's the only
absolutely.
way.
You come out like
when you
we
win
did.
games,
Yeah.
the attention's gonna come. We're 12-2. We're 12-2 this year as Missouri Tigers, right?
That's true.
How many people you been talking to about Mizzou?
It's been a lot of chatter.
Everybody's
a
on
lot
point
of
about what's
chatter.
going on. So that's just what it was, man. It was commercials. It was signings. It was
Yeah.
kids' birthday parties and stuff. Like we had
Oh my goodness.
dude,
we pull up anywhere, bro.
You said kids' birthday parties.
We had to get.
Now you local heroes.
Would have been nice.
Yeah.
And
Local
it
heroes.
Really would have been nice that
yeah,
year.
man.
So let's go through the season, man. We had high expectations. What ultimately transpires throughout that season, and it wasn't a bad season.
No,
Just
still
by
10,
our standards.
10-4. Like,
Which is
went 10-4.
yeah.
Finished top 20 in the country, but it all started at the Oklahoma State game, and
Home game.
still to this day, the dude dropped the pick. I don't care what nobody say.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, man, I feel like things that everybody knows who we are now, right?
Mhm.
Nobody's kicking me the ball anymore on special
Right.
teams, right?
Don't do that.
Getting bracketed, getting double teamed, some other things like and I don't know if I remember correctly, we got banged up a little bit too.
If Denario would have been healthy too,
we got banged up.
We lost him. Yeah, we got.
Tight end still there.
Yeah, things just weren't falling our way, man.
Jason's still.
Yeah, like so we knew. I think we knew our schedule was going to be pretty. We had to play.
We're a bit
Yeah.
We had to-
emotional.
We had to go to Oklahoma.
We were a bit emotional that year.
Yeah, we had to.
And for a reason, for good reason.
Yeah.
I mean, shout out to Aaron O'Neal, guy from St. Louis who played linebacker for Missouri before we got there. Mac, you may know him a little bit better by him playing in STL, but that senior class, that was his senior year. So all the seniors, they were carrying a little bit of
weight with
a
them.
little bit of weight, man. It was a very meaningful year, very impactful. And, we wanted to honor Aaron and we wanted to, honor our teammates and put it down. But it just, things just didn't add up. Like you say, the Oklahoma State game was the kind of the determining factor. Like, man, we in rough shape right now,
Yeah.
And it was kind of tough to bounce back from it. But ultimately, we got 10 wins, right? We had to find something.
I think we lost some good senior leadership too. I think Will frankly shout out to Will. He came a long way. From stories I heard from him when he first got there to how he was when he left.
No doubt.
I think losing him hurt from a leadership standpoint. Losing T-Ruck hurt from a leadership standpoint.
Zoe would have left as well.
So, yeah, you know what I mean? So I think we lost a bunch of leadership, and they were looking for 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds to lead.
Yeah.
We could play.
Right. We're ready to lead. Yeah.
But I don't know if we're ready to lead 120 guys.
Yeah.
So
over that course of the season.
Yeah, I think we lost some leadership, and I think that hurt us a little.
I think that was a big year of leadership for me, like the growth in my
absolutely,
leadership. Because it happens, it starts, like you're in this position, like everybody looking at you to call the play, you kind of growing up each game, though. You know, a little bit more responsibility you can handle. So, I think if they would have just rolled it out and said, all right, Spoon, they would have told me.
Do it.
But I remember during the spring game, it was kind of like me, Brock, and Van kind of doing a little
like rotation
type thing, you know what I'm saying? But, ultimately, wouldn't change it. But it was a tough year from that growth for me, man, because I'm coming off an all-league year. Yeah. And then I'm going into the next year expected to take it to another level, right? And, I feel like I played my best year at Missouri in 2008. Yeah. I got to, it started at that first game in St. Louis. Missouri had a thing where we was going to find a way to get 8 games in the state now.
Yeah, we did.
We're going to get 8 games in the state of Missouri. That first game is going to be in St. Louis. That last game going to be in Kansas City. And you're going to have 6 at the zoo. Yeah. And so for me, that was a great recipe to get us, kind of started on a good note.
Really smart,
You start with Illinois as another, big-time program out of another conference. And that first game, I think in that fourth quarter, man, we in a shootout.
It was a shootout.
Bro, but I ended up.
I didn't finish that game. Yep.
Didn't finish that game. Mac in the cast at the end of that game.
Wow. Walking boot.
Wow. So in that fourth quarter, man, I just remember Juice just giving us the business. Juice Williams.
Juice Williams was nice.
Respect to Juice. He was an awesome
Juice
quarterback from
Juice
the shot.
started the first game, got hurt.
Yeah.
So he was itching at the big play,
ready to get back at us.
Young guy came in, and we ended up taking care of that one. But I mean, the other one was just a fight. It was just a fight. But I ended up getting 2 fourth quarter picks, bro. And and returning one to the crib.
Yeah. I remember that.
And I'll never forget when Denario said, DA said, Spoon gonna leave us. He said, Spoon gone. He gone.
He's gone.
And I'm not even thinking that at that time, but like ended up putting myself in position to be considered for the draft as well. So all in all, tough, season. But I kind of had a good one, man.
Had a good one.
I think I had $155.
So that season, as it progressed, we ended up going to the Alamo Bowl in San Antonio, Texas, right?
You're right.
I actually got to sprinkle in a little playing time that season at my respective position. So I'm kind of learning, what it's all about, man, and able to be a part of that. What you got?
You remember our moment we had on the field? Punt return?
Return? What
Punt
happened?
Return?
When?
When you crib?
No, I didn't crib it. Got up, did a little celebration.
Yes. So I was able to kind of get into it a little bit, you know what I mean, and start understanding. Okay, this is something I do want to be a part of. I want to be successful. Yeah. You know what I mean. So we go through that season, and we lost some key games. What loss hurt the most of that season?
Probably, I would say probably the Kansas loss hurt the most. Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you right now, we're not awesome. Them boys in Texas beat us badly. Man, and I kind of blame you. Man. Kind of blame you, and I'm going to tell you why I blame you a little bit. You talking a little noisy, Chalky. They had a nice little game plan for me.
They did.
Chalky on me, had a little safety help.
Me and Chalky,
right? They kicked off every rep.
Yeah.
But nobody could see Colt McCoy going, 29 for 32?
He missed 2 passes, I think.
Yeah. It's crazy, though, like thinking about that, because Kevin and I, we actually went to Austin the spring break before.
We did.
To vibe with Chikey.
Yeah.
To, I knew a lot of guys that went there. Earl Thomas, one of my homies.
Like a little reunion
the
for
other
us.
cornerback, Dion Beasley. He's a five-star coming out. He went to high school with Tommy Chavis at West Orange Star.
Yeah.
Tommy Chavis, a former teammate of ours at Mizzou too. We went down and we had a great time hanging out with them guys, bro. We felt like
we had a great time.
We felt like we would have vibed with this group too. It kind of felt it didn't feel like home like Mizzou, but it was like we had a good time.
And they had one of those seasons too. You could tell they're really close.
They were getting ready. They were getting
ready. Put it on the
film.
film.
That was gonna be a fun game, man. So we go down November? It's cold in Missouri.
Man.
Yeah, but
by the time we get down there, they get us out there. Man,
it was still warm.
It is humid.
After that UT game, I was walking next to you, and I got the pleasure of hearing Mac Brown come with what I would consider one of the best compliments you can give a player. At that time, he came up to Spoon and he said, "Hey, look, I don't know how we let you get out of state."
Yeah.
Peep game. It wasn't after that game, though.
What?
It was the next year. At
home. Okay, yeah.
So the 09 year, we'll talk a little bit about that too. But bro, that was big for me because growing up, I'm watching Derek Johnson.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
shout out DJ. I played with DJ.
Same. Kansas City,
My God.
Texas, I ain't going to A&M. My boy Big Red Bryant, Super Bowl champ, captain. I'm like, man, he at A&M. Jasper guys already kind of making their path there, right? A&M ain't showing me no love, no way. But I'm like, man, Texas, they come check me. Man, them people can't see me one time, man. I must have been 5'11", 198 pounds. Because they got out the door real quick. They was like, we just don't think he's going to get big enough, right?
Yeah.
And so that was tough for me, man. So going against those guys, going down to Texas, I was so amped up. I didn't catch my breath until the game.
Dude,
Hope McCoy.
It was a whirlwind, bro.
Crazy.
When he dropped the ball, picked it up, and still threw a touchdown pass.
Like
I knew,
Jordan Shipley.
It don't matter what we do.
It was Quan Cosby.
It was a wrap.
Yeah, it was. They
I
did.
think Malcolm Williams.
That hurt us.
GP at halftime.
Oh my goodness.
Officer line, stand up. Sit down.
Yo, he was so mad at us.
You guys think you guys act like they're the New England Patriots.
Yo, he thought they beat us so bad at it. And that's the same way when they came up to Mizzou the next year.
Rough, man.
But that year was so for me the toughest loss was the Kansas loss.
Gotta have those.
That's our rival. The blood boils. I'm not sure if Talib left Kansas yet.
Yeah, man.
He slid.
The one big name they had Stuckey still back there. Safety.
Chris Harris too.
Yeah, and Chris Harris. Yeah,
Chris Harris stood there. Yeah.
So we playing that game. I'm not sure if y'all know this, man. And it was a wild weather game.
Yeah.
And
4 quarters, 4 different weather reports for each.
Right. It wasn't a game that I had necessarily played a lot at corner. It was like a special team game for me. And if you're on special teams only, in between your little play or two, you get cold. So I go out there and it's like fourth quarter and we're kicking the ball off to KU. Desmond Briscoe catches it. And he's running. I have contained and like one of the last men on defense. And I missed the tackle and he breaks out, which ultimately sets them up for that go-ahead touchdown. Yeah. So we kind of lost. So all my Mizzou fans, I want to apologize for 2008, the KU loss, because I take blame. Now, we didn't stop them, so it wasn't
we
only
still had
on
our
me.
chance. We had our chance.
Oh, I know. There was. Hey, we talk about that.
Yeah. But so we end up going to the Alamo Bowl, and I have a quick story. Walking back, we win the Alamo Bowl, which was awesome, and we are coming into the hotel, and I was walking with J-Mac, and this is when I kind of realized the magnitude of kind of what he had done at Mizzou. It's your one of your best friends. You don't see it from that level.
Yeah.
But every now and then you get a glimpse and seeing how do the fans see him. So we're walking, we get off the bus, we're going to the hotel, and there's a group, big
crowd.
Crowd.
You would think we played in a big bowl game.
Yeah. And they all screaming out, 1 more year. 1 more year. And I'm walking, I'm like, what is that even mean?
That thing, it gave me chills, bro. It gave me chills.
I had never seen anything like it. And it's time for me to see, oh man, one of my best friends is nice. He can go.
Yeah.
Bro.
And they're screaming one way, and then it kind of hit me. I'm like, is he about to leave?
Yeah.
Is he going to do the 3 years and leave like he told me when he had the knee all ripped up?
It was a wrap.
So you hear that. How do you process a moment like that, and then how does that ultimately lead to your decision making? How do you make the decision?
First of all, in that moment, I'm smiling, I'm happy, right?
Oh yeah,
but
big time.
Man, it was so surreal because like that's what I set out to do. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I told you in 2006.
But like the people, right? had made it to where I didn't want to leave. Mm-hmm. Right? The fans made it to where I didn't want to leave. And that's why, like,
you had a good setup.
I had the emotional press conference, right, where I start crying. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to leave.
Yeah.
Not because I didn't want to go to the National Football League.
That's the goal, right?
Yeah. No, man, my boys, like this, I feel safe. Like this is where I belong.
Yeah, yeah,
man.
Yeah,
Going into that
decision.
Yeah, going into that, man. I you know, it was a tough decision. Like I said, clearly from the press conference, but what really got me was I sat down with Coach Pinkel and I had Jeff Priest with me, and we sitting down, we just talking, man. I'm like, GP, I don't want to leave, man.
Yeah,
like this is home. Like, you guys take good care of me. Like, I trust you with my life, like, literally. And he's like, Jay, I understand, man. And he's like, I want you to understand, like, that's why I got into coaching. It wasn't necessarily about the X's and O's. It was about changing young men's lives, right? So, once again, further like validated why I was there, right? And why I was supposed to be at Mizzou. So, go through it. He said, if you were my son, I'd tell you to leave, right?
From the head coach.
From the head coach. Now, I'm played 2 years. You know, I'm, you know, one of your best top 3 players on the team, right? We got a momentum going. We done won 22 games the last 2 years. Like,
that's true. Yeah.
For you to say that to me, like, it meant so much.
Knowing if I come back, what that could mean for his success.
Exactly. So
it was real.
Thing about GP, man, he always kept it real. And a quick GP story, right? That year in 2007, our really good year, right? We're practicing on the field.
Yeah.
Okay. Very rarely did this happen, but Chase throws a pick.
Very rare.
Very rare.
Who caught the pick? You remember?
Was it me? It wasn't me.
I don't know who it was. But
was
whoever,
somebody you could catch? Like,
so I didn't run after him. And this is a story.
So it probably wasn't me. He couldn't call me.
So I did not run after the ball. Coach Pinkel lit into me right there on the field in front of everybody. I was like, yo, I respected him so much after that.
Yeah.
Like,
a lot of places.
I take that back. It's spring ball going into 2008.
Okay.
So it was after the big year because I had already arrived freshman year. He was like, "No, we're not doing that here. That's not what we do." And it wasn't like I was trying to. Look, it was on the side of the field. I just wasn't.
I'm not gonna get him anyway, but I'm not gonna. I didn't get the effort I should have given.
Man, listen, he lit into me, dog.
Yeah.
And like, since that day, I was like, "Yo, this man right here, like, I don't care what happens after this. If he ever needs anything from me, like if I could ever do anything for him, like I'm there. Period."
He did do that. He was that guy, man, and he's that guy for a lot of us, man. So you have that decision you make, and he gives you those words of wisdom, which are just bizarre to say from a head coach who his success is literally dependent upon people like you staying in college.
Yes.
He advised you, hey, look, if you were my son, go ahead and go.
Yeah.
Spoon, you were in similar shoes.
Yeah.
You have a decision to make. Like, do you come back? You know, what's the NFL saying? What are your parents saying? You know, it's life-changing experience to go and leave. What goes into your decision to ultimately stay?
So that season, we kind of felt a little disappointed. We didn't get what we wanted, right? But we went down. We got to take it out on Northwestern. That's just how it is.
Northwestern had to get it, yeah.
I think I went out there and it had like 17 tackles, 3 behind the line. It was a few big hits.
Were you the MVP?
It was one of them days, yeah.
Defense?
Boy, hey, boy. 660 took those 2 big trophies back to the crib.
You were offensive MVP?
Yeah. It was my 21st. That was my birthday, cause
hey man, shout out! All right, fellas, yeah.
So I'm on that high. On that high. I'm in the locker room getting interviewed. I'm coming back.
Did you say that?
I already told them. Like they already, man. I already told them I'll be back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm not even taking into account of what's really transpiring. Like a month ago, we played Kansas State at home. It's Jeremy's senior night almost, like the same as the other senior. Like you could kind of feel it, but you kind of like got your head in the sand, like you just focus on what
just
you're
going,
on. But after that game, man, I had a great game. Bowl practices, I put on a few pounds, thought I could play a little heavier my senior year. I'm ready to come back. I look my best. It's going down. Got the trophy, chilling. Put my name in the draft stuff, right? You want to be evaluated to see where you can be drafted.
This is before you can even make a decision to leave, right? You just want to kind of find out.
Yep, I get a chance to see before I have to make that decision.
Okay.
And I think, they told me I would be a 3rd round pick,
Yeah.
And so that just wasn't my standard. I wasn't.
Wow.
I was like,
high standards.
Now, of course, I also was like, forget them. They don't know. You know what I'm saying? I know how I get out.
Right. I can still test and change all that.
Just talking to my mom and my dad, and the fact that I went to summer school every year. I got down in summer school. I was making sure I got them hours. I knew that I wouldn't have that red shirt year to be focused on studies. Right. I knew when I finished my 4th year, if I stayed for the 4th year, I had to go right into training.
That's true.
And so I only had a semester left to graduate. A summer. Well, I'll take that back. I knew it would time up with my last semester being that fall season, my senior year.
After the season, or December.
Yep. And so I was like, okay, it's gonna work out, And then, I decided that 3rd round wasn't what I wanted to go reach for.
Right.
And I went back to school, man. But when I went to the combine, we had you coming out last year. We had Mike Tomlin was like, Spoon, you was a hot junior year now last year. Yeah, you was lukewarm.
He didn't say that.
I promise you. He told me I respect him for that. In my meeting process, that's what a lot of it was for my senior year. But man, it was just a family decision.
Yeah.
And like I said, man, walking across that stage in December next to Denario with my wife, a few names back.
Yeah.
Like we had a good time, man. It was a good time for me to go back to Mizzou and learn how to be a better leader.
Yeah.
Learn how to be a better teammate. And it worked out for me.
And and I was still there, so I appreciate you coming back. I don't know about you leaving me, but Spoon stayed and was able to kind of usher in a new class of young people who weren't ready to be that pivotal on the team. Coming up. So his leadership that year set up an awesome senior year for me. So I appreciate you for giving back.
Most definitely.
You helped us out.
I wanted to be on the poster by myself. I always had Bagley. They always had Kaufman. Yeah. Everybody. Daniel.
No, let me get a little shine myself.
Hey, man, it was fun, man. But we had another, decent year.
We had a decent year. We did a lot of growing up. A lot of our young guys grew up your senior year and then my senior year. But you kind of hit on the combine with, meeting Mike T and whatnot. So we all had the opportunity to go to the combine. Mac went first.
Yeah.
I'm going to get mad at you real quick. You didn't tell, maybe you told Spoon. Nobody told me what to expect at the combine.
Dude.
No one told me what to expect. What was your experience? And we'll go back and I'll give you mine.
So let's go where I trained at. So I trained at Mizzou.
In Columbia, yeah.
In Columbia. So
he was still around.
My big really wanted to be there.
Yeah. He didn't want to leave. He did not want to leave.
No, my big thing was who knows me best? Who knows my body best? Why not give that to P.I. and Coach Floyd?
Shout out to Coach Ivy, man.
You see what I'm saying?
Like why?
Ivy. Right. Coach Highmeyer, she know I've been doing nutrition with her for 3 years now. Right? Why not stay? Right? She got me hooked up with nutritionists, right? Massage, like they had everything that I needed, except for the warm weather.
Yeah, you got to do it in Columbia.
Yeah, but
in January and February.
Yeah. But also, guess what I also got to do? I got to spend the last semester with my guys. I got to still be around the people that I cared about. So
true.
That was me. And it didn't mess with my draft stock, right?
No, it didn't.
So
it didn't. Did you bench press at the combine?
I did not.
You got to be a half. You got to be a high draft.
I don't know if y'all. I had a couple.
Like everybody just can't.
I was probably
out.
If I would have done it, I probably would have done it 10 to 12 times, right? At that time, I think at the most I've ever done it was might be like 16.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm doing that for.
Come on, man. You know why I'm here. You want to see me run. You want to see me run. I catch pass and I run. Come on,
man. I get to the combine, man, and it's I'm known for doing everything the right way, right? And Jacksonville Jaguars had the 8th pick.
Okay.
They took Eugene Monroe.
Big
tackle.
Shout out to Jim, yeah.
BA.
In the draft. So before that, they had the 8th pick. I oversleep. Because man, combine, they got you there, man. You on minimum sleep. You do. I missed one meeting.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
So
that's crazy.
It was my last meeting of the day.
Yeah.
But I'm tired. I had like a little gap. I'm tired, man. I had like 45 minutes. I'm like, you know what? I'm
classman. You got so much going on at the combine.
I'm like, yo, let me take about a 30-minute nap. Man, I wake up about 2 hours later. So luckily, Jacksonville rescheduled with me for the next day. That normally doesn't happen.
No.
So, anyways, they got you doing all this, right? I had an ACL injury, so I'm in the MRI machine. They got me on the table. They pulling at my legs, making sure my legs still work. They doing all the things, dog. And I truly think it's a test of mental strength as much as it is how fast you can run, how high you can jump. Because I think they truly like wake you up at the crack of dawn on purpose,
like 4 o'clock,
and do all the things. Right, you got a drug test in one of the mornings.
Yes,
but I had a meeting with the. Who would I have a meeting with? Who did this to me? God, I cannot remember the team, but I scored a touchdown in Nebraska.
Mm-hmm.
Nebraska had like
it's like Seattle.
People on the field.
They did,
yeah. Mm-hmm. So I scored a touchdown, and when I scored, I rolled the ball. I kind of rolled the ball, and the ball hit the wall.
Okay.
Coach drilled me about 5 minutes. He was playing it. Are you humble? Fast forward. I mean, rewind it. Is this humble? Are you humble? Is this humble? Are you humble?
You can see that on film.
Yeah, I'm like,
come on, man.
I'm dropping the ball, man. Like, yeah, put a little flavor. That's our rival.
But like, on it, yeah.
Of course I am. Like
hit
I say,
baby or something.
This is the one time I was like, Coach. I said, you know I'm humble. I said, that's why you asking me. You already know the answer to this.
Yeah.
If you didn't know, if you didn't think I was humble, you wouldn't be asking me this question.
Mm-hmm. Which is a cocky response.
But listen, he smiles at me. He goes, I'm just testing you.
That's all it is.
And I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
Is this a psych test? Like, what are we doing here? Yeah. So
what was that? Yeah.
Man, I go through the process. I get hurt. I run my 40. Didn't run a lot. I think I ran 4.4. Mm-hmm. Didn't run like I wanted to. I had no excuses, but I had what you call osteitis pubis, basically inflammation of your pelvis.
Yeah.
Right. So I was dealing with that. I ended up getting a shot after the combine.
After the fact, okay.
But yeah, I'm running routes, and on the go ball, I tried to make an adjustment, and I hyperextend my right knee again. At the combine. So I don't finish it. Got to wait all the way to pro day. Go out there and do it. Mm-hmm. Kill pro day. Kill the route running part.
Yeah.
All the coaches like, yo, you run routes better than I thought you did.
Mm-hmm.
We know we come from a spread system. Not really asking us to
run
out
there in space, catching hitches.
But man, it was everything just kind of happened, and then y'all know that you go from pro day, right, to the draft, right, to mini camp, rookie mini camp,
just going
to mandatory mini camp, to about 2.5 weeks off, 3 weeks off,
a little bit of time,
training camp, which I ended up being a holdout, but we'll get into that another date. But man, it was there was once we started that 2008 training camp,
it didn't stop.
It didn't stop for me.
You just
just going. I went for
20 years old.
20. Yeah. I went for over more than a calendar year before I got a chance to really get a break.
To breathe.
Yep.
Man, what about yours?
Wild. That's why I didn't know.
09.
Stuff.
Me either.
Man, coming out, shoot. Man, I'm finished with school.
Mm-hmm.
I put together a decent senior year. You know what I'm saying? Leadership was really where I grew.
Yeah.
On the field, I played well, played solid. I just was a little chunky. You know what I'm saying?
Heavy,
look at the game day picture. Like, I'm in that thing like 255. Like for real, like 255, 6'1". Like still running, still hitting. But I put on that Nebraska tape from that same game you talking about, junior year, right? Because my agent, he's telling me, everybody, I got some friends, they scouts, they talk, they want to see you down, closer to your junior year weight.
Yeah.
And so I'm like,
30?
Right, that's perfect.
230?
Right over 30, 32, 33.
Okay.
So I'm like, all right, right on. I'm cool. I put it on. So like you said, getting tied up with a nutritionist, that was a big thing. I went out to Irvine, California, signed with Athletes First. And so I went out and I'm with a group of guys, right?
Yeah.
It's myself, Damian Williams,
wide
receiver.
Yeah.
D
Will. Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah.
Earl Thomas.
Okay.
Zach Robinson from Oklahoma State is my
quarterback,
roommate.
right?
Man, I can just name Dennis Pitter.
Okay.
Garrett Graham.
Okay.
Tight ends.
These guys.
The most talented person in this group is Aaron Hernandez.
You train with him?
The youngest player in my draft.
Oh, wow.
We all lived in the same apartment complex and everything. The most talented guy.
Yeah.
Only person I ever seen tell me what juke they was going to hit me with. And I hope we don't have to pull up this footage, but so my rookie year, I'm going to jump ahead a little bit. My rookie year, we ended up, having Tom Brady and those guys come up to our camp.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron hit me with the juke he said he was going to hit me with.
Did it work?
Yes. I'm not even playing. So anyway, we're training out in California, and I'm still spoon, man, just trying to get right. I'm running as fast as the wide receivers and the DBs. They getting mad. They going home, calling it a day.
Yeah.
I'm just putting in that work. Go to the Senior Bowl. Now I'm playing against Zach Robinson.
Yeah.
Let me get that. Let me get that pick, Zach.
Hey,
Man,
Senior Bowl MVP?
Bro, nope, didn't get it. Brandon Graham.
Oh, I thought you had
Brandon Graham got it.
Okay.
Deserving.
BG's a fool. I had 5 tackles, a pick, 2 PBUs. You know, it was a great game. I showed what I needed to show. All I needed to show was that I was 235.
I can run.
Chiseled.
BG, one of the best teammates you could ever have. Too.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
so,
real good.
And that's what I learned. Like, that was what was big for me was the Senior Bowl, right? I didn't have a great senior year, so the Senior Bowl was something I needed to go out and maximize. So so we get there, and they're like, okay, we see you as a 4-3 outside linebacker, maybe in the middle in the 4-3, but 3-4 you're gonna be inside, but preferably we want to see you in a 4-3. So we in a 4-3 at the game, and so I got a chance to play middle. I got a chance to play outside. I got a chance to be in front of the huddle. I got a chance to be led by someone else.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget this one play where LeGarrette Blount, he came through there. He might have been tipping. He might have been a pass drill.
Yeah.
So he ain't about to catch nothing on me, right?
Yeah.
So I break it up and I'm get that out of here. They like, do you know who you talking to? Because he had just like slapped somebody.
Punching somebody.
Like, shout out to LeGarrette though, great dude, great ball player. Only person gave me a concussion that I can say like. He hit me, I went to sleep.
I played against him in Jackson.
I gotta give him that. He was running that ball. But man, Senior Bowl was just great. I went out there, met with all the teams. But it did feel like being on the slave trade a little bit.
A little bit.
I'm gonna just be honest now. I'm in there sweating profusely. And you turn around and the whole league is in the room watching you weigh in your draws.
Yes.
I'm like, yo, this is wild.
It was a little weird.
And
it's kind of like, I felt like they were above us too. Like looking down.
It was wild, bro.
Like the stage is weird.
And so after I go to the Senior Bowl, I'm like, I'm really excited about the combine now. Right?
Yeah.
And that's just all about meetings. I think I had like 28 meetings
or
something like that. Meetings. And I'm like, I'm a senior. Like, y'all done seen my tape. Y'all,
you know I'm about.
Bro, I ain't got to talk to all these people. Now, with you being an underclassman, I would think like everybody's trying to catch up.
I had 30.
Yeah.
30 meetings.
30 meetings.
Like, people trying to catch up. So
3 days.
So some you have like formal inside of a room, and then some you have like a little table.
Oh yeah, I remember those. Yeah,
so I met with 30 teams.
What was horrible about the combine?
Check this out. I did not meet with the team that drafted me.
That's what you told me. I never forget that. You like,
or take a visit to the team that drafted me.
Wow. Okay.
Ain't that something?
Yeah.
So why I gotta go to this?
Right. You mean I
ain't even going. Like this. And so who cares? You missed the meeting, right?
Yeah.
Whatever, man. It's on tape. It's on tape, and I'm here to perform. Hey, evaluate me. Send me where you're gonna send me. I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to do. But the Senior Bowl, man, that was hot. Combine, I was ready to go home, bro.
Yeah.
And I was one of the top performers at the combine. Like I didn't run my best. Drills, jumping, all that stuff. Leadership. Yeah. Myself, Brandon Spikes, Sean Lee. Yeah. We had that thing on lock.
Yeah. No question.
It was a wrap, bro. So I put it down. Went back to pro day. Shoot, had on the gold cleats.
You did.
Had the fam in there. Oh, bro, on my home turn. 443.
Oh, I gotta run. Hey,
I see the Falcons in there. The whole combine, the Falcons are the only owner that's in the meet.
Yeah, it's true,
Mr. Blake. So I'm in the paper. I want to go here. I want to go to Atlanta. I see a report come out on the blogs in Boston saying I'm like not a locker room guy. I'm like, oh, this gotta be a setup.
Yeah,
and it goes back to one of the meetings at the combine. I was not on their list to be meeting with the Patriots.
Okay,
bro, I'm walking. Somebody just grabbed me like, hey, go in that room. It's like some real New England stuff. Like, hey, go in that room. I go in the room, I see somebody in the back just washing their hands. Sweatshirt. Big sweatshirt in the back, just washing their hands. He turned around, asked me to wash my hands. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, let me wash my hands.
It's the Godfather.
Before I shake hands, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Bro, pull up my Twitter. We ain't talking no ball, no nothing. Pull up my Twitter. Woke up, piss excellence today. Oh, what's this? I was like, I was in the weight room, such and such. We was getting down. I hit.
You got an answer to it.
I hit some weight. Nobody talks about what's going on in my building, except for the guy in the sweatshirt. Like that's how he was handling me, bro. I'm like, shit. He pulled up another video. He pulled up another video. It's me driving on campus at Mizzou, trying to do like the day in the life for Joe Scoggin there.
Yes.
So I'm riding on campus. I got the camcorder. I'm driving with Is this safe? I'm like, yo, don't pick me.
Just don't do it.
Bro, like, you in here killing me right now. I already been killed at Mizzou from my Twitter.
Yeah.
As Twitter started, we had to turn in our phones because of these tweets, we had to turn in our phones on Fridays because, man, I tweeted like 20 days until I squeezed the Pope out of juice.
Yeah,
that was on college. It was on College Live that afternoon.
Good thing we beat them.
GP pulled me in. You don't give him any locker room material. Like, so it was reckless, bro. So the combine just wore me down, bro. It wore me down. I was just ready to hear my name get called, bro. Yeah. I just kept working. Went back to the zoo for a little bit. Pro day, hit the club after pro day now.
Oh, we did do that.
Hey, we had the cuddle dance.
Right. Your journey's a little different.
Your journey was different.
Talk about
so
that.
you don't have to put your name in the ring to see, or in the draft and see what's going to happen. I knew it was going to be, if it's going to happen, it's going to be a late round. You know what I mean? But I am fortunate to get a combine in. I remember being at home after our bowl game and being like, guess I'm going to try to find somewhere to train. Right. And Coach Ford calls me. He was like, hey, I want to let you know you've been invited to the combine. I'm like, what? Okay.
You're a commodity.
Yeah, I might be something, right? Yeah. So you go, I went to Naples, Florida, and I'm training in Naples. And it's going well, but I'm still kind of hurt. I had back issues my entire senior year. So they're keeping me out of certain activities. I don't bench press much while training. I don't even run that often because there's you got to show up and at least be able to do the drills, right? Yeah. So I get to the combine accident, just kind of like you, Mike, I don't run well. I think I might have gone 4.52, something like that. And it was, I leave the combine actually down, but I'm mad that y'all didn't tell me what it was like because I get there expecting to be some, lights, camera, action. You running forward, you just having a good time. Y'all, you doing high fives.
TV had my perception on it, right? Like watching that.
That's what you see on TV, what you expect, but that's not what's going on. You're in meetings. You're up at 4 a.m. every day. I had a couple of meetings. I think I might have met with the Chiefs. I had the big meeting was with Jacksonville and I think maybe a couple other teams. And even that was a weird process because they're asking me to call on plays and stuff that I ran in college.
Talk.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
hey, what coverage? What coverage?
Not my strength.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I tried to forget all that when I left.
Yeah.
So and I had a workout with the Patriots. They came in town and they sit you down and they go over some of their scheme. And then, you sit down, you talk about your scheme. And then they call you back to the board and they say, now draw what we just talked about. Draw the Patriots scheme. I'm like, yo, come on. Jeez. I'm not a student of the game yet. I got to become that, but I'm not that yet. So that process for me was eye-opening because now I'm realizing this is not a game. This is serious business. These people are here looking at who they're going to invest a considerable amount of money in, and that's when it hit me golly, it's real. You know what I'm saying? So, but now we do the combine. Now let's talk about.
One more thing before.
Yeah.
Did you guys have a normal room at the combine?
Normal room? We might get a normal hotel room?
What was your room like?
I had a roommate.
I had Mike Thomas, receiver from Arizona.
Were you in a hotel room?
I think so.
I was in a hotel.
Where were you?
I was in one of those train cart rooms.
What? They had your room bugged.
Oh, no. I was too.
What?
I was in a train cart room. Denario was with Sam Bradford. They were up in a regular room.
I was in a train cart room. Yep.
No, I had a regular room.
I had a big 300-some pound D tackle in there, and we in a train cart room, bro. It's small in here.
Me and Mike,
not sleeping.
Train cart room.
All these meetings.
Yeah, it was tough.
I perform, bro. That's how I felt. Man. I was stressed out, man.
It was tough. So you do the combine, you have success, and then it's time for the draft.
So before the draft, you go fly to certain places. Visits.
Got a couple of visits.
So I went to a couple of visits, right? Mm-hmm. When we think of that, it was what you said, Patriots asked you to do something on the board, right? So Cleveland come in and they same thing, right? They kind of go over some plays, they install a couple plays, formations.
Yeah.
Really, this time was formation, like a few concepts, right? Mm-hmm. And then they put you in a room by yourself and they quiz you. Bro, I was done in 5 minutes.
What do you mean done?
Formations. Just.
You knocked it out?
Yeah.
He's always been an odd student of the game. That's crazy. Yeah.
But here's the kicker, right? I get out the room. They're like, hey, what are you doing? I said, I'm done. Here, right? You're not done.
Got some more for you.
Yes, I am done. Look, didn't get one thing wrong, right? So they was like, yo, did you cheat? I was like, no. How can I cheat? This is y'all stuff, right? So that's how I knew like my biggest asset, as fast as I was, it might even be it's my mental, right? Everywhere I went, bro, I knew every position. I knew every play. Like, that's
why you coach now.
And you left early, though. That's what.
Yeah, that's what I hung. That's what I hung my head on.
Young, you shouldn't know the game.
I learned it that last year at Zoo when I ain't had no classes. Yeah. So I'm hanging around.
Because
I'm pulling up. Now I'm finding out why we're doing certain things.
Wow, I regret not hanging with coaches more often.
Yeah,
makes you a better player.
Yeah,
true. Makes you a way better player.
Yeah.
But so now we're at the draft. Talk to me through your draft experience.
Man, They invited me up to New York. Did not go. I turned it down.
Yeah.
I ended up
Why not?
I ended up doing everything at home with my family. So, I got my family, I got my surrogate family. Family kind of took me in.
Don't forget us.
My boys, like family, friends. Man, it was just a really, really, really like good day. We played wiffle ball outside. We had like a homegrown wiffle ball like stadium.
Epic battles.
Man, I just wanted to have experience with everybody who helped me get to that point. I didn't want the lights and the cameras and the action in New York, and also that was a little bit of me that the glass guy sitting in the green room. I didn't want to be that guy. Not saying I would have been in that draft, but I'll never forget though. So projected top 10. I knew that San Fran was going to take Crabtree at 10. So my two spots that I had was the Raiders at 7 or Jacksonville at 8.
If it's going to happen.
If it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So process goes. Apparently, I don't know how true it is, apparently Al Davis came in the day of the draft and moved Darius Hayward-Bay to the top of the list because he ran the fastest. He was all about speed and size.
Yeah.
You go back in the day, you look at them teams, the Raiders were always the best looking team on the Raiders and the Cowboys had the best looking teams on the field. We talk about size and speed.
Yeah.
Right? So we get through 7, I don't get drafted, right? 8, I don't get drafted. I'm like, well, I know I'm not going 9. I know 10 is Crabtree.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, dang. So I had to step outside for a second. Took a little walk. Me, Will, Frank. So I think there was like the Chargers were up there, the Lions, but the Lions had traded back. I'm like, man, what's up, man? What's going on, man?
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, the Eagles trade up to 19, right before the Giants. All right. So I knew there was a possibility I could go to the Giants. I'm not thinking nothing with the Eagles. I'm thinking my next landing spot is going to be the Lions were at 20. I'm thinking my next landing spot could be the Lions. Right? I get a phone call, 215 area code. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
It's Big Red.
Big Red.
Big Red. I'm like, hey, how you doing, sir? Hey, how'd you like to be an Eagle? And I talk to him, and then he gets off the phone. He puts, at the time, Joe Banner back on and some other guys. So talk to them. But it's just crazy, that whole process. Yeah. Like, I was thrilled. I'm crying. Everybody crying. I'm like, yo, man, I sat through all them meetings, did all that work. And it's somebody I'd never talked to before.
I don't even know these guys.
But it just goes to show you that they do their homework, they do their research, they read up about it. I had found out they had called everybody I knew under the sun to kind of ask questions about me. So, man, it was just a really good time for me to enjoy that moment with the people that I really cared about, man.
Yeah. I'll go with my story before I go back up. I don't want to end on a low note.
Man,
I went
what you did.
Yeah.
Bro, let me just say this, bro. I see a lot of people coming to this game full off season, drafted, or whatever. And you can be drafted, have a full off season, not make the club.
True.
You can be, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can be first round pick, you can be the undrafted free agent, whatever. Yeah. Bro, what you did, that's why Coach Ford say that story is the best, bro. What you did.
I shed a tear.
Appreciate you.
I never told you. I shed a tear. I'm watching you Thursday night football.
Out there in Atlanta.
Going up against, at this time, I believe it was the second year in the league, Julio Jones. They got you one-on-one. And I'm like, yo, my dog really went from somebody who could care less about football. Now Jacksonville has him.
He was a rookie.
Yeah.
Undrafted.
That was my first
one-on-one on the island with Julio. Like,
I appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, dog. Like, that's different.
Yeah.
That's different, dude.
Man.
I seen people come in the lockout year.
That's different.
Yeah.
They couldn't close the front.
So
right. Look, which way is?
Not even. Don't know a clue,
bro. It was hard, bro.
Yeah, but for me, so I went undrafted, and I'm gonna give a shout out to both of y'all. I don't know if you probably remember because you were the one, but so you go through the draft process, and it doesn't happen for me. Short and easy. And I remember like going to church the next day, and I'm in church. I'm hot. I'm like, golly, come on. I leave church. I hadn't gotten home yet, and he calls. And he was like, yo, what's up, bro? How you doing? I'm like, man, I'm a little upset. He was like, look, whenever you want, you come up here to Philly, dog. You can train with me, stay with me. I pay for the flight. I pay for your flight home and everything. I'm like, what you mean, bro? He was like, dog, I know what you're going through right now. Come on up. That was a Sunday. I think I left Monday. I called him back that night like, hey, you got any flights? I ain't have any money. So he bought the flight up there, man. And then you fast forward this lockout. Then I have I get time to spend time with you in Atlanta and train. Mm-hmm. And I'm still close enough to the goal I'm wanting to get, but it's locked out so no teams can talk to you. And y'all are still keeping me close, keeping me tied in. And I appreciate y'all both for that. You know what I mean?
No doubt, bro.
So if you don't get drafted, you get to choose where you go, basically, right? Yep. And shout out to Coach Steck and Dale Howard. So when the floodgates open up, all teams are calling like, hey, we want you to come here. They offering $10,000, some offering $5,000, whatever. So it came down to Denver and them. And Denver's like, we'll give you $15K if you come out with us. And I'm like, $15,000, I'm about to take that.
Yeah.
Jacksonville's like, we're going to give you $5. But if we cut you, we guarantee you keep it. I'm like, oh, all right. So then I'm sitting out, I'm weighing this option, and Dale calls. And he's like, hey, look, I can't tell you who told me to tell you this, but you got to go Jacksonville. I'm like, what? He's like, dog, this is what they're telling me. You have to choose Jacksonville. And I'm like, bro, why?
Shout out to Dale.
Shout out to Dale. And
apparently, my college roommate.
Yeah, apparently Coach Steck had a relationship with Jack Del Rio.
Gotcha. Okay.
Who was the head coach. He's like, you got to go. So I went, and it ended up working out.
Come on.
So now let me get back to a little first rounder.
That's beautiful.
Another 19. Yeah, it was a dope story, man. Dope.
So, for me, like you say, Mac didn't tell us it, but bro, we were leaning on him a little bit. I was trying to figure out how the process worked, whatever. Yeah. And so I got to see it a little bit. So I think I was a little bit prepared for, kind of what happens during the draft. But my situation was a little different. I put on my senior year, but I wasn't a top 10 projected. I wasn't projected to go top 10. I was projected from like 15 to 40.
Okay, which is a wide range.
And a lot of people that just didn't like the way I was so confident in how I talked, and they called me loquacious.
He came to the combine in all white.
I
definitely did.
I kind of got in trouble. They like,
definitely did.
Somebody pay you the word? I was like, no, it was Reebok tights,
Under
Armour shoes.
It was all white.
I was just, I was unmarketable.
Yeah.
But, so anyway, man, I'm getting ready for the draft. 15 to 40. I want to go to New York.
Yeah.
Never get invited. That's why I'm like, Mac, you ain't go?
Yeah.
Never get invited. Then I thought about it. Yeah, it'd probably be, probably smarter that I chill.
It could be dangerous.
I went home, went to Jasper, and, we all got together at the local Holiday Inn Select.
Yeah.
The little lobby had everybody come up, man. We got
ESPN was there?
ESPN
They
popped up. They get me wired up and all that.
Yeah.
And like I said, the whole time I wanted to go to Atlanta. I kept saying it. So I had a feeling that it could be Atlanta. But, the draft started. I see the Raiders up. I know I outran a lot of people. So
a lot of people, yeah.
Raiders might jump.
Yeah, because I can run.
Speed.
They like speed, yeah.
They went with Rolando McClain. They took the side.
Bama, yeah,
big
huge,
guy, big guy, baller too, by the way. They picked him, so it's crazy that Hayward Bay went before you at the slot you possibly thought, and where I was even just being ambitious that he went in that spot, right? And so I noticed around like pick 13, 14, Eagles take Graham. And the
13. Yep. 13. Yep.
The headset comes on. My headset come on. Oh, they've been talking to ESPN. They know I'm about to get drafted soon.
Yeah.
And so at that point, I'm listening to a few guys go. I think the Pouncey twin went at 18 to the Steelers, and then the Falcons on the board. I'm like, man, that's it. So I get the call from the Falcons. They're like, how would you? They it's Les Snead.
Okay.
He always say F them draft picks.
Yeah.
But that's who called me from Atlanta. Shout out Les. And so we're on the phone. And he said, we're going to take you with this pick unless we do something different. Unless we move out of the pick, we're going to call you back. Oh, no, you're not. I'm going to be right here. I got some minutes.
Yeah.
So we on the line. I'm talking to him. So he started, it comes up. They start passing the phone around the room a little bit. We hanging on the phone. They didn't move from the pick. So next thing I know, I'm talking to the head coach.
Yeah.
Head coach asked me, do I want to be I'm like, what? Do I want to be a Falcon? Come on.
I'm made for this.
We lit in Jasper, Texas, bro. I think I'm the first round pick ever from Jasper, Texas.
Shout out. Hold on, shout out. Yeah.
Man, I was like, whoa, this is crazy. The city on fire. We go to the little bar. It's a little hole in the wall.
Tear it down.
Man. But they selected me. And then it was odd because I got a few phone calls. I got a phone call from Scott Pioli. I got a phone call from Detroit as well. Because Detroit had moved back and took Job at best at like 32 or 30, 31. So, and they were like, we had got Sue with 2, and we were coming to get you. I was like, oh, man. So they just wanted to say, best of luck.
Yeah.
That's dope.
A lot of people just show love, and I took that as I handled the situation right in my process. So that was pretty cool, to have some allies, man. But hey, once you get drafted, hey, it's time to go. That's what Willie Moe, He was drafted the year before me.
He was.
So they paired us together. But they was also wanting me to bring the best out of Mo because his rookie year, he ended up being on IR and he wasn't really hurt, you know. So we got that thing cracking in there, man. And it is what it is.
Man, look. These were some epic stories. And I think we just finished out season 1 of Tru Sons. Everybody who's tuning in, all the Trus out there, we appreciate you for staying tuned with us for season 1, man. And we look forward to season 2. Get ready. It's coming. It's coming.